Hi guys, Scott here from Outlaw Garage. Today we're at Steve's Car Alarms. We're going to get an alarm fitted to the 356. So Melbourne is a little bit different to Dubai, so we just want to make sure that the car's secure. So we're going to get something a little bit fitted. She is very special to us, so we want to make sure that she's as secure as possible. The locks work on the car, but you know what it's like, getting an alarm fitted and some GPS tracking would be a good idea. So we're going to take you through it today because it's probably a good opportunity around securing old vintage classic cars and what could be done from a security perspective. So we're just having a quick look on where to put the alarm system in the car. So we're going to leave her here. She's going to get the alarm fitted, bit of a check over, GPS, so to protect these old vintage cars. So we'll pop back a little bit later on this afternoon and see how she's done. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Cheers.
See you, mate.
So here we are. Seats out. Just all kind of getting wired up for the alarm and stuff. So we'll show you how that works on the phone a little bit later. The engine bay lit up really well. Always takes a little bit of work on these old cars. It seems to be coming together really well. The GPS tracking on them is brilliant, so it's fantastic. All yours.
Yep. The only thing I can't do is build an engine and a transmission, but
where'd you get the engine from?
got it from a donor car I bought in Queensland.
Yeah, okay.
There was a Valiant that was smashed up and the whole back end was written off, and it had all the right gear that I needed. New torsion bars, K-frame, the new brake booster. None of that fits for the V8 if you've got a 6. And we had to modify the inner firewall to put the power steering pump. So because it's got power steering, then we hit it with all the hoses instead of having the hoses coming over the top of the engine.
Yeah.
So it made a big difference on that. And,
yeah, it looks lovely.
On the dyno put out 312 horsepower at the back wheels. Ooh. So I was really happy. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a great cruiser. It'll sit on 110 k's an hour on the freeway all day long. Purrs like a leopard.
I tell you what, it's lovely, clean and tidy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a beautiful colour as well.
Yeah, it's called Plum Crazy. So Plum Crazy purple is a universal colour right throughout the whole Chrysler and Dodge range right throughout the world.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's take a look on this side. Big couch seats.
You don't get enough time to drive it.
Yeah, that's the shame with them, isn't it?
And some of the funniest things that you see in the back of them. The ashtrays in the back of the seats.
Yeah, those are the days, weren't they?
Yeah. got 5 seats and 5 ashtrays.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a beautiful car.
The number plate was actually, when I was 17, my first ever car was a Valiant. And I smashed it in a month, within a month of having it, and I kept the number plate.
So as you can imagine, it's a little bit difficult to record videos in Melbourne at the moment due to the restrictions. What we've decided to do is pull the car out into the car park just a couple of days later, having had the alarm fitted, and just take you through some of the features on the alarm. So let's get started, because I've got to say I'm impressed by it. So first off, we've got a new addition to the key ring. We've got a new key fob here. The first button is for an audible detection on the system, so when you press it, which we'll show you in a minute, it beeps so you can tell that it's come on. The second button is so that you can have like a silent activation on the car alarm, which I guess if you're at home middle of the night you might want to, but for us I think we'll always use the first button. So as you'll be able to see here, we flick the first button and the alarm comes on, indicator lights come on, and then if we press it again, you get 2 beeps and the alarm goes off. Now, in true unplanned fashion, if we do this at the front, we get 1 indicator come on, and clearly we've got a bulb gone on the other one. When we press it again, we get 2 beeps. So we'll have to fix that passenger side light at some point in the future. Always nice to have unplanned activities. What we have on the inside of the car as well is that the guys have put just a red LED just on the bottom of the dashboard. They've not drilled a hole, but they've secured it. So if we press the button again, the red light comes on. Now what we'll do is the interesting part, and I'm not too sure how this is going to go down in the centre of Melbourne at the moment when there's a lot of police around. So we'll set the alarm, we'll open the door just so you get kind of understanding of how loud it actually is as well. So let's give that a bit of a go. Hopefully we won't get arrested in between. Okay, so the alarm's off. Going to activate the alarm, and what we'll do is we will wander over to the car and open the door and see how loud she actually is. And a quick blip of the key fob and the alarm goes off, but you can see that is pretty loud. No police, so probably not as loud as it could be, but at least the car's safe. So what happens when the alarm goes off is we get a text message, which I think you can see there on the phone, and then what we should get is we should get a phone call. And there we go, the phone call comes through. So that's to indicate to us that the alarm's gone off, so that works brilliantly. I think the addition of the phone call text message is really, really handy. So the system is very advanced. So it has a break glass detector as well. So you can leave the windows open at a car show, activate the alarm, and if somebody puts their hand into the car, the alarm won't go off. However, if somebody breaks the glass, the alarm goes off as well. So the car is pretty much now fully secure. What we'll do is we'll take you through some of the details on the app when we get inside, because out here in the sunlight it's a little bit hard to see. But now we've got a fully secure classic car. So just before we head inside, we're going to see if we can take a few shots in this area that I think we showed on our Instagram previously. So the 356 is here, and just an old kind of underpass rustic area, and we're going to see if we can take some shots just before we have to go back inside again. Hopefully we're allowed here. I guess somebody will let us know pretty quickly if we're not. What's nice about Melbourne is that the scenery just really suits the car. Like the rustic look of the car and the inner city vibe, it looks brilliant. We've just had all these leaves floating down as well, all of this stuff, so hopefully we've got some good shots of the car there. She looks right at home in this environment. Rough, ready to go. I think we're going to see if we can back her in there, so bring her over from there, back her in here, and then I think what we'll try and do is we'll try and drive it in here a little bit. It might be a little bit difficult because there are some bumps in the road up there which are probably going to rip her sump off, so we'll see if we can wiggle in a little bit and find a sensible place to park a little bit further up there and try and get some shots. This is a cool place to shoot. Look at that. Just the area is fantastic. Just going to see if we can find another couple of shots, and then we're going to head down to South Melbourne markets and find some food. Well, that's enough dicking around with some photos for now. We're going to find something to eat, and then we'll take you through the app. Hi, so we're back inside now. We've grabbed a quick coffee from Macca's. We're going to take you through the app now. It's a little bit hard to show on either on our iPad or on our phone, so we'll put some screenshots up so people can see it. The app we're using is the Wylon app. Easy to download, easy to install, and as soon as you've registered with a username and a short password, you're pretty much ready to go. So there are two services that you can get with the app. There's one that's about $15 a year, where if you send an SMS to the device in the car, it will ping you back its location via a link that goes to Google Maps or something, whatever you use. Or there's the full continuous GPS tracking, which then displays it on the app, which is about $175 a year, and that just gives the full service from there. As you can see from the screenshot of the app, it is really easy to use. You can find your car straight away with wherever it is. So really simple app to use. It does come with a couple of other features as well. One of the additional features that we really like is that there's a code which you can SMS to the car. The car recognises your phone number, so if one of your mates does it as a bit of a joke, it won't accept it. It has to be from your phone, and it cuts off the ignition straight away on the car. So if somebody has stolen your car or someone's taken it without authorization, you can send the code to the car, and immediately cuts off the ignition, and the car won't start again until you send a reset code to the car, which is, I think, an amazing feature to have. So we had ours installed by Steve's Car Alarms here in Melbourne. Just to give you a bit of an indication of the price, so the alarm system itself was $695 installed, and then the GPS tracking system was another $495. That's supplied and installed. So that comes to a total of $1,190. On top of that, we had to pay $175 for the continuous tracking for the year, and we actually put on a couple of dollars, $15 onto the SIM card in the car, just to keep that ticking over. I think the $15 will last probably the year, and then it sends you a message when it's starting to run out, and you can just top it up like you can do with any phone system. So it works really well. Now that comes to not far off about $1,500 for the alarm system, GPS, and the tracking of the car, which may not appear to be particularly cheap to start off with. However, you look at the price of any air-cooled car these days, be it a bus or a Beetle, all the prices have gone up. Any classic car really, and on top of that, it's not just the price of the car to replace it, but it's all the memories that you lose with it. It's the time and the effort that you've put into that car to get it to the position that you want it. I think the $1,500 to install the system, and then either $15 a year or the $175 a year package that we got to be able to protect your pride and joy, is a well worth investment. If the car's stolen, you can track it and stop the car with somebody driving away in the car. If the car is placed on the back of a truck, I don't think anybody's going to look amazed to see an old bus or an old car on the back of a tow truck at some point. But now you'd be able to track it, find the location, and it gives you some more hope of being able to get the car back, which I think is priceless in my mind. I think of all the hours and time that we've put into R356, I'd hate to lose her, because she means the world to us. We'll put all the links in the description below to Steve's Car Alarms, the app and the system for the alarm system. If anybody's got any questions about it or wants to send us any messages, we're more than happy to help and give you some of our advice. There are some systems and features on the device that we've not trialed yet, so you can do geo-fencing. So if you park your car for an extended period of time, you go on holiday, and the car even just moves out of that small spot, the alarm system will go off as well. They're just some features that we haven't explored with it yet. But if you've got any comments or questions, please put them down below, and we'll get on to answering those for you. So I hope everybody's keeping safe and well. Apologies for the silver fox hair. We'll get that cut as soon as the barber's open here in Melbourne. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you soon with a new video, guys. Thank you very much.
Lose my mind every time you get close to me. Yeah. Got me high, don't know